Pontiac Fieros are kind of interesting cars because they have such a huge cult following, yet they're so widely considered a bad car, which is just so interesting to me. It kind of goes hand in hand with like the DeLorean, which has also a huge cult following and is considered a pretty bad car to drive. And they both suffer from the same thing. They're both really heavy cars with underpowered engines. Well, with this car, I'm kind of hoping we can change that. So some of the longtime viewers have actually seen this car a few times. This is way back, I think this is even before I built Goldie Hawn. I bought this car probably 4 years ago for my wife for a Christmas present. I bought this car for $500. I know, it seems kind of like an odd Christmas present, but my wife actually loves Fieros. This is the 4th one that we've owned. We still currently technically have 3, even though 2 are parts cars. So when I bought this car, it was out of somewhere in Detroit. I don't remember where. For $500, it was in primer and it needed a clutch. So picked it up. He had the new clutch for it. Completely dropped the cradle, replaced the clutch, put it back together, and ended up painting it this cobalt blue, which, aside from up by the sunroof, still looks really good. I've put maybe 70 miles on it, so the clutch is still basically brand new. The main reason it's been sitting is because can't fit a car seat in it, and we got 2 kids, so just kind of keeps getting pushed to the side. I end up focusing on my cars, and this thing's just been getting ignored, which does suck. Hopefully no mice got into it. Tried to put a bunch of dryer sheets in here because mice hate dryer sheets, allegedly. But yeah, for the most part, it's just your basic run-of-the-mill 86 Pontiac Fiero. It is a 4-speed, which means it has a pretty robust Muncie M17 transmission, which I was doing a little bit of reading last night, and it's supposed to be rated for like 350 foot-pounds of torque, which is awesome. The gate for the shifter's kind of tricky sometimes. Let's see if we can get this thing open. And there we go, the 2.8 60-degree V6. So at one point I had wanted to K-swap this car, and I still kind of do. I think it would be cool. But I also kind of want to just turbocharge this. Like pull it out maybe, because that kind of sucks. Freshen it up, go through it, small gap on the rings, build a nice turbo kit for it, small turbo, and put it on like a Haltech ECU. And I think it would be a lot of fun. Now, like I said a second ago, these cars are fairly heavy for what they are. They're around 2,700 pounds, which on the surface sounds like compared to a lot of modern cars, but if you compare that to like an MR2 of the similar year, those are like 2,300 pounds, I think, 2,300 pounds. So sure, they're kind of chonky for a small car, but really they're not that heavy. Like, especially like when you look at how wide they are, I would say they're almost as wide as like an F-body. Like maybe not quite, but almost as wide. So I've been seeing a bunch of people doing stuff with MR2s, and there's just, I've always in the back of my mind wanted to do something kind of cool with this, or something kind of different. Or just something at all, I guess. And today I was just like, you know what, let's just see if the thing even still will fire up. We'll throw a battery in it, and we might move it into the garage and just kind of assess everything. I know it did have a leaking fuel line, and this brake back here hung up a little bit. I think it's just a rubber hose. So we'll kind of see what we can do. I think we'll, like I said, just throw a battery in it, see if it fires up, which would be a miracle because the gas in here is probably at least a year and a half old, and hopefully no mice chewed through any wiring. But if it does fire up and move around, I just think it'd be a fun little side thing to work on while waiting on parts for everything else. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. I'll be gentle. We can get this. There we go. I don't know if I've ever said before or not, but I am not that big of a fan of side post batteries. I cannot believe. You can't see how rusty this bolt is, but I can't believe that it's still as smooth as it is. That's crazy. So one of the things that's interesting about Fieros is every single body panel on it can be unbolted. They say it takes like 8 hours or something. You can have the complete car stripped down to just the space frame chassis. It's like some real Terminator looking shit. It's crazy. It's kind of cool, honestly. Alright, we got the juice box in it. I guess let's just see if it starts. You just can't kill these things, man. That's awesome. All right, we'll let it warm up for a little bit and we'll see if we can drive it around to the garage. Whew. A little chilly out. All right. Pump the clutch a little bit. Went into gear. I think the brakes are gonna be stuck. Rock it a little. There we go. The brakes are sticking so much that we are on a hill in neutral and I'm not on the pedals. This is wild. I gotta be honest, this thing, as far as engine goes, it runs better than I remember. But as you can tell from these puddles here, it does have a fuel leak and a brake leak, which the brake leak's new. Fluid looks kind of decent actually. A little old, but kind of decent. And the fuel, I can smell it from here. Can you guys smell that? So I don't actually have a plan for this thing right now. I was just tired of seeing it sit. So I'm going to fix the fuel line and the brake lines and get it to where it's at least drivable, so we have a starting point for something. But whatever that is, I still don't know. If you guys have any ideas of something kind of budget friendly, then let me know, because I tend to get myself in over my head on projects as far as like the affording it side of things goes. Like I said, in a dream world, we build the 2.8 because I don't see that done a whole lot. People tend to swap 3400s or 3800s with the superchargers. Or there's one guy on YouTube that does K-swap Fieros. I don't remember what his name is. It's like BV Motoring or something like that. And he seems to do really good work. I like his cars. He's the one that I actually got the idea to do like a K24 swap on this thing. But I do still really like the idea of taking the engine that came with the car and trying to optimize it. I think that would just be really rad. But yeah, I think that this is just a cool, interesting car that a lot of people are starting to pay a little bit more attention to because they have a cool styling to them. Like, to be totally honest, I think that the bodies on these look better than the first gen MR2s. I know that that's going to be a point of contention, but I think that these look better than MR2s, at least the first generation MR2s, and I like Pontiacs. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for subscribing and clicking that bell. We'll see you in the next one.